Hello, and welcome to the Parkinson Foundation PD Health at Home Fitness Fridays. My name is Jen, and I'm a physical therapist and fitness instructor at the Power Gym in Tucson, Arizona. Today, we will focus on balance, agility, and multitasking, as well as stretching, which you should be doing 2 to 3 times a week, with daily integration if possible, according to the newly released Parkinson's exercise recommendations. For more information and to download a copy, please visit parkinson.org/exercise. Welcome to this low-intensity agility class. For this particular agility class, you're going to be focusing in on moving in what I would consider vertical sequences, moving up and down. So thinking about how we can go from the standing position either lower or higher in all of these different positions. We're going to be using the basic power moves to help us move from high to low. We're also going to be down on the ground, working from the low positions up to a little bit higher. This is going to require lots of strength and cognition in order to be able to transition from all of these different positions. Please feel free to slow things down as we start moving through these sequences. And as you begin to feel more comfortable, you will begin to increase your speed with those transitions, moving up and down smoothly, accurately, and of course safely. You can see that my equipment is pretty simple for this class. I have a mat because we will be coming down onto the floor, a chair. We'll be using our chair for some support and also to help us, assist us to be getting down onto the ground. I have a pillow. There will be a time during the end of our workout where we'll be coming down onto our bellies. And a lot of times having a firm pillow underneath your belly just feels a little bit more comfortable while you're down there exercising. The other thing that I'm going to suggest that you have, and I'll be using this for a crawl out, so you'll get to have some fun with that, are yoga blocks or book blocks. Something that you can hold in your hands and use for a little bit of support for the upper portion of your body for a short period of time. So those are the equipment that we're going to need, and we're going to get started right away. We're going to start with our power moves. We're going to move through those power moves, powering up, power rock, power twist, and power step, moving from the standing position down lower onto the ground. So come along with me as we begin to practice. We're going to do each of these 3 times. And again, once you finish and complete all of these, you can always do them again a little bit quicker. So this movement, we're going to start with our power up move. The chair is actually going to be in front of me. I can come and not touching the chair yet, I can reach my arms out in front and see if I can power up. Again, you can have a wall behind you or even another chair for safety should you need it. I'm going to power up here. From this position, I'm going to bring my hands to the chair. So now I'm going to bring my hands to the chair. I'm going to come down. You can see that I am bending my hips, bending my elbows, coming closer to the seat of the chair. I'm going to push my body away and power up again. Now, bringing my hands to the chair, I'm going to step back, coming down onto my knees. You can see how now we're coming down lower to the ground. I'm going to come down close to the chair seat, push my arms away, and power up. Now let's come back up to the top. So from here, let's take that big power step, pushing into the chair, bringing my feet slightly apart, come down, power up. From here, we're going to reach our arms forward to that back of the chair and power up. Let's come back down. Hands down to the chair, bending at my elbows, my knees, and my hips, and power up. Come down to the chair again. Now step, come down to those knees, stepping down. We're going to come and do our power up here with the chair. So hips push back, elbows are bent, power up. Pushing my hips forward as I power up using that chair. Chair again, big power step here to push in. Let's get ready to power up. Come down and power up. Let's do our regular power up and standing. Reaching those arms out in front. If you can always touch the back of the chair if you need to. Power up. Let's come back down one more time. So hands on the chair. Let's power up from the chair. Come down, power up. Let's use that chair to step down to our knees. Let's come down and power up. All right, making our way back up. Big power step, holding onto the chair, power step, come down, power up, reaching those hands towards the back of the chair seat and power up. All right, that was our power up sequence. Let's get ready to rock, okay? So with our rock, I'm gonna face you so that you can see me. We're gonna rock and shift our weight over to one side, shifting over to the one side. Get ready, shift over to the other side. Let's get ready to come down towards the chair. Now from here, with my hands on the chair, I'm not gonna rock from side to side, but I'm gonna rock forward and backward. So I'm gonna step my feet back just a little bit and rock my hips back. And I can step my hands forward so I can rock my hips forward. From here, I'm gonna come down onto my knees. And we're gonna do the same thing again, but on knees. I'm gonna rock my hips back. And I'm gonna rock my hips forward. Let's try it again with hands on the chair. So big step. Let's step. Here we go. We're going to rock your hips back. Don't be afraid to move your hands, stepping your feet back and rocking your hips forward, only to comfort, everyone, okay? Let's get ready to rock in the standing position. So I'm going to power up here from the chair. We're going to rock. So we get ready. We're going to rock over to the right side. Get ready. Rock over to the left. So using a little bit of our balance here. Let's come back down to the chair. Hands down to the chair. I'm going to step my feet back. Rock my hips back. Rock my hips forward. Come down to the ground. And we're going to do that same rock, forward and backward. Rock your hips back. And rock your hips forward. Come on up. Let's rock forward and backward again, using the chair for support. Rocking back and rocking forward, feeling that pressure through your hands. Come from here, power up to stand. Let's rock in the standing position. Get ready. We're going to rock over to one direction, shifting my weight over. Get ready. And rock. All right, we are going to twist in all of those three positions again. So let's have a little fun as we make our way down to the ground. We're going to open up to that big T for twist position. We're going to twist at that hip. So twisting across the body, clapping both hands, opening back up, taking that left hip, twisting across the body, and opening back up. Let's come to the chair. So hands are on the chair. I'm going to twist one arm in. So basically threading a needle through. So you can see that I'm reaching through between my knee and my wrist, twisting in, and then I'm going to come up, 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 and twisting up towards the ceiling. Let's bring those hands together. Let's try the other side. Let's twist that guy in and all the way up and out and bring it back together. Now we're going to come down to the ground and do the same thing. So take those knees down to the ground. Take one arm, thread it all the way in, and then all the way up and out. Bring the hands together. Thread the other arm in, up and out, and back to the chair. Let's come on up. So pushing all the way up. You can tell how much strength we're having to work on here, right? All of these transitions, threading all the way in, all the way up and out, hands back on the chair. Let's do the other arm. Threading in, threading up and out, hands back to the chair, come down, power up. Let's get ready to twist. So taking that right hip and right hand and twisting across the body, opening back up, left hip, left hand, twist across the body and open up. Let's come back to the chair. Let's do our threading in. Threading in one arm and all the way up to the ceiling and back to the chair. Let's do the other arm. Thread the other arm in, up and out, and back to hands on the chair. Let's come down, knees down to the ground. Let's thread that. Here we go. Threading one arm in, up and out, back onto the chair. Let's do the other arm. Threading in, up and out, and back to the chair. Let's push up, back to that standing position. Hands stay on the chair. Let's thread in. Let's go up and out, back to the chair. Let's thread in, up to the ceiling, back to the chair. Get ready to power up to stand. Let's do our last twist here in the standing position. Right hand, right hip, twisting across the body. Open, twist and clap, open. Let's get ready to step, all right? So with our step, we're going to take a side step. So taking that right foot and side step out. You can use your arms for balance as you begin to take that side step. Bring it back to the starting position. Let's take the left foot, side step out. Bring it back to that starting position. Now let's use our chair. So with our chair, we're going to take that step forward with our foot. So I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to rock my hips back just a little bit. It's going to give me like a little slingshot action to step my foot to the side of the chair. Bring it right back, rock those hips back, step that left foot forward. Bring it back to the starting position. You know what to do next. We're coming down to the ground. Here we go. Coming down to the ground. I'm going to rock my hips back just like I did when I was up in that standing position and step one foot forward. Bring it back to the starting position. Rock my hips back. Step. From here, that's a perfect step, right? Perfect step. Tuck your toe under to help you push yourself back up to that, to the tall position with your chair. Rock your hips back. Step the right foot forward. Bring it right back. Rock the hips back. Step the left foot forward. Bring it back. Ready to power up away from the chair. Let's get ready to take that side step. We're going to side step to one direction, together, side step to the other direction, together. Let's come back to the chair. Here we go. We're going to get ready to rock those hips back, slingshot one foot forward, bring it together, rocking my hips back, slingshot that other foot forward, bring it together. Let's come down to the ground. Again, doing that slingshot action, we're going to rock those hips back, get that right foot forward, come back to the starting position, rock those hips back, step that foot, keep that foot there. That's a good foot. Or if you want your other foot to help you push up, you can. But I'm going to keep that foot up. That one's going to help me as I get ready. I'm going to push my hips back, slingshot that right foot forward, come on back, rock your hips back, slingshot that left foot forward, come back. I'm going to power up away from my chair. And even though I'm turning towards you, you don't need to turn. You can actually do your side step right with that chair in front of you. But I'm going to make sure that you can see me, that we're going to do that side step. Let's do one more side step together. We've got one more round. Are you ready? Let's take it down. Hands are on the chair, rock those hips back, step, bring it back together. We're gonna step, bring it back together. Come on down to the ground. Get ready, rock those hips back, slingshot that foot forward, bring it together, rock those hips back, slingshot that last foot together. Keep that foot up there. That's gonna help us to come up. We're using the chair for support. Get ready. We're going to rock those hips back, step forward with that right foot. Come on back, slingshot the hips, and step the opposite foot forward. Come on back. We're going to power up away from the chair. And again, you can take that side step straight from this position. I'm going to face you so that you can see that I'm going to step out to the side, together, and out to the side, together. Now that was a workout in and of itself. Great job being able to manage all of those different positions and still working on your power up, your rock, your twist, and your step within all of that agility of moving up and down off of the ground. From this position, guys, we're gonna actually start using our chair a little bit. Again, to go from standing to come down. So different ways, again, to work on the agility of moving up and down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be in the position where my legs are right behind the chair, all right? So as though I'm gonna get ready to sit. So in this position, and I am ready to sit because I can feel the chair, the back of my legs, I'm gonna reach forward just like I'm gonna power down, and then I'm gonna sit. Right? So now I'm sitting. This is my chance to now grab my yoga blocks. And you can choose to use the yoga blocks and you don't have to either. In fact, the last repetition of this movement, I'll show you how to do it without yoga blocks. You can just use your hands, certainly. So from this position, I went from standing to sitting. And now I'm going to do what's called a crawl out. So I'm going to crawl out to what I would consider a bear position. So my knees aren't going to quite come down to the ground. All right, I'm just going to crawl out until my bottom leaves the chair. So I'm going to use my yoga blocks to help me. So my yoga blocks come out in front of my feet. And I'm going to step my hands out so I can push out just a little bit. I'm going to step both of my hands out. I'm going to step them back. I'm going to leave my yoga blocks where they're at. Sit down, power up. Now my yoga blocks are there. I need to come up to stand so I can touch my yoga blocks and power up to stand. Let's do that 2 more times, all right? So you can touch the yoga blocks and sit down. We're going to touch the yoga blocks, step out 2 steps into that bear position. Step back, keep my yoga blocks right where they're at, push up to sit, touch the yoga blocks, get ready to power up to stand. Power up to stand. Great. Hands touch the yoga blocks. I'm going to sit down, power up. Let's do 1 more of those crawl outs. Hands, I'm going to crawl out, crawl right back. Sitting back down into the chair, power up. Let's power up to stand from here, power up to stand. If you would like to try it as a challenge point without the yoga blocks, please try it without. You can even lower the yoga blocks down to their flat position, and that actually is also more challenging as well. So I'm going to touch back down to the yoga block and have a seat, right? So now I'm in my seated position. If I don't use the yoga blocks, I've got to be able to get my hands all the way down to the ground. I'm going to step out, step back. You can see that there's my chair again. I'm going to power up. Let's go back up to the standing position. So we're going to reach forward. You can even reach for where those yoga blocks were and power up to stand. Great job with that. Again, moving from standing, sitting, down to that bear position, using the yoga blocks or without as a challenge point. From this position, we're going to turn around and face the chair. And we practice this quite a bit. All right, we practice this quite a bit as our warm-up, working on our power moves. But from here, we're going to make it much more functional. So from here, we're going to power down to the chair. From here, come straight down to your knees, straight down to your knees. And now we're going to crawl back. So crawling those knees back until I'm on my hands and knees. And from this position, we're going to crawl back to the chair. We're going to use that power step that we practiced. Power step, using that chair to help. Back to that standing position, but with the chair for support. So this is our starting position. Let's do that again. This is great practice for practicing coming to the ground safely or also coming up from the ground. So now we're back on our knees using the chair for support. We're going to have to crawl back. Crawl the knees back, crawl the hands back to get away from the chair. Now I'm on my hands and knees. Let's go back to the chair. So crawling back to the chair. Don't need very many steps because I'm not too far. Here we're going to do our power step. So there's your power step. Using the chair for support, push up. And we're at our starting position. One more time, everybody. So come down and down. We're going to crawl back. Backward crawling is really challenging. So this is a great skill to practice on. Great skill. And the closer you are to the chair, the easier it is for you to be able to crawl. You make your way back up. We're going to step. We're going to step. And we're back to that starting position. Great job making your way down and your way back up. Now we're going to come back down using the same skill that we just worked on to come to our hands and knees position. From here, we're going to want to move the chair out of the way. So I'm going to wiggle my chair, and it's always a little bit challenging, especially when you're using a mat. But I'm going to move it over to the side and come to the hands and knees position. This is another one that if you want to use your yoga blocks, you can. This just helps to bring the ground up to you a little bit more. It makes the movements a tad bit easier. So again, if you want to use your yoga blocks, feel free to use them to help and support you during these movements. I'm going to move my yoga blocks to the side. You can see me doing these movements. And in fact, I'm going to face you guys so that you guys can see me. I'm going to go from my hands and knees position, and I'm going to sit on my right hip. That's going to be the movement. So we're going from the hands and knees, and we're going to come down closer to the ground onto our hip. Now from here, how do I come back up to that hands and knees position? I can use my left hand to swing. I'm going to twist back and come forward as big as I can to come back up to that hands and knees position. Let's go to the left hip. So now I'm going to sit on my left hip. Left hip. My right arm is free to move, and I can begin to move that opposite hand around. I'm going to swing it back and twist it so that it's going to help me come back up to that hands and knees position. Let's do that again on the right side. So sitting on the right hip, the left hand is free to open, twist it back, and come back up to that hands and knees position. Let's go to the left. So sitting on my left hip, twisting that arm back and bring it across your body with a lot of speed and acceleration so that you can come back to that twisting, that all fours position. It makes it a lot easier. Let's do that one more time on each side. Right hip, left hand comes back, twists back and swings across the body to help me come to that all fours position. Sit on my left hip, open up, get ready to swing it across the body to help me from here. We're going to progress this movement. Since you got so much good practice coming onto your hands and knees from this position and going to that side sit, you're going to come to this side sit position. And from the side sit position, we want to see, can you lay down onto your back? So again, we're not going to be here for very long, but if you think you need your pillow or a yoga block under your head, it actually feels pretty good to lay back down. So from this side sit position, I need to be able to come all the way down to my side. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to slide it out, like punching it out, and that lets me lay on my side and then roll onto my back. So now I'm on my back, and I want to come back to that starting position, so that side sit position. So that big arm twist that you did in the side sit position, I'm going to bring my left arm and I'm going to twist it all the way over to my right one, as big and as fast as I can. And I'm going to keep my knees bent so I can use those guys as a little bit of a slingshot action to get on over there. So using the momentum of my legs and my hands to help me come up. So I'm going to slingshot going over in one direction and get ready, twist across the body to come to that side sit position. And from here, can I come back up to that hands and knees position? So remember, we kind of came back, come up onto that hands and knees position. So let's do the other side. This is our progression. So lots of fun to be able to kind of move, coming down all the way from our back up to this hands and knees. It's kind of like a tuck and roll, right? So you're going to sit on your hip. You're going to take that left arm, slide it out so that you can come down onto your back. So here we are on our back again. Now we're going to use our right arm and the momentum of our legs, our strong legs, as we get them to kind of rock side to side and twist across our bodies to come back up onto that side sit position. Now remember, how do we come up to that hands and knees position? We're going to take that arm, open up, twist all the way up, and come up to that hands and knees position. Great job, everyone. Now from this position, since we're so low to the ground, this is our chance to work on our bellies. So grab your pillow if you think you need it, and I'm going to use my pillow for my belly work. All right? So we're going to move from our bellies up to the all fours position. So coming down onto the belly, feet are wide. Let your elbows relax, and this should feel pretty good on your hips. You can kind of wiggle a little bit, find a good position. This should help open up the low back. It's going to also make the ability for us to be able to move from our belly up to the all fours position a little bit easier. So from here, I'm going to power up those elbows right up underneath my shoulders. From here, we want to be able to come up to the all fours position. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. I can use my arms. I can push with my arms and push my hips back to the all fours position. That's one way to do it. Let's come back down to the belly. So you're going to crawl and step those forearms back down, let the elbows come down. And we're going to think about what's another way that we can come to that all fours position. Instead of using our arms, we can use our legs. So here I am in my powered up position. Elbows are underneath my shoulders. Let me see if I can use my leg. I can kick my knee up. And then step my hands up to that all fours position. So lots of ways to do it. You can use both your arms and your legs to come up to that powered up all fours position, all right? Let's come back down to the belly. So I'm going to step my forearms out and step my legs out, kicking them back behind me. Legs are wide. And again, let's power down. Let's power up. Let's come up to the all fours position. I'm going to step my hands back, push back, step my knees forward, and now I'm in my all fours position. From here, everyone, we're going to come back up to standing for our cool down. We're going to be using our breath to help us. From here, I want to be able to crawl. See how we're doing all of these wonderful positions, right? All of these wonderful transitions that we have to work on all the time. And you get all of this great practice to come here. Let's get our big power step. Big power step. We're going to take a big breath. As we exhale, we're going to come down towards the seat of the chair. Power your whole body up away from the chair. Exhale, push your hands towards the back of the chair. and then power up strong. One more time, exhale down to the seat of the chair. Power up away from the chair. Exhale to the back of the chair. Inhale, power up. And let it go. Great job, everybody, with your ability to be able to move on and off of the ground, all of that agility, working on strength, cognition, and all of those amazing transitions that we need every single day of our lives. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us for the Parkinson Foundation PD Health at Home Fitness Fridays video series. For more information about the Parkinson's exercise recommendations as a prescription for people with Parkinson's, please visit parkinson.org/exercise.